Hello and welcome to Greg's Chan 1. I'm Greg, this is Channel 1, and let's talk Line of Duty Series 6, Episode 1. Locks and Keys. Because who needs loads of locks and keys? DCI Joe and Davidson, that's who. We'll find out more about that in just a little bit. If you haven't seen the episode, please go and watch it. And then pop back afterwards, and we can discuss in the comment section below what you think, what theories you have, and let's get a bit of a community talking. So, you have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's talk Line of Duty. So, let's get through the main cast and the main important supporting cast that we've got for this particular episode. So, for the main cast, we have our main three. We have Vicky McClure as D.I. Kate Fleming. We have Adrian Dunbar as Superintendent Ted Hastings. Martin Compston as D.S. Steve Arnott. And the police officer that we are following for this series, Kelly MacDonald, who plays DCI Joanne Davidson. For the important supporting cast, we have Annika Rose, who plays P.S. Farida Jatri, who was also in Series 4, for Operation Trapdoor. We have Nigel Boyle, who is Detective Superintendent Ian Buckles. Just saying that makes me angry. Tommy Jessup as Terry Boyle. Perry Fitzpatrick, who plays D.S. Chris Lomax. And Shalom Brune Franklin as D.C. Chloe Bishop. And finally, Andy Osho as Gail Vella. So, let's talk about the episode, and let's just dive right in. There will be spoilers ahead. Hopefully you didn't ignore my countdown, but just in case you did, let's dive right in, because this is your last chance. In 3, 2, 1. So, we find out that based at Hillside Lane Police Station, DCI Joanne Davidson is the current SIO, Senior Investigating Officer of Operation Lighthouse. That's the name of the operation for this series. And let's talk about what transpires through the episode. So, the main investigation is into the murder of Andy Osho's character, Gail Vella, who was a journalist. Now, I've got a couple of ideas on why she might have been killed, or add some of the things that may have led up to her death. But we will get into that. Put a pin in it, and we'll be right back to that. So, Kate Fleming, it seems, has completely left AC-12. At least that's what we believe so far. Because she is currently working for DCI Joanne Davidson as her right-hand woman. So, you get a little moment where Chris Lomax, who I'm guessing is Joanne Davidson's left-hand man, probably, but he tells Davidson that a CHIS, which is a covert human intelligence source, that they gave him information about the murderer of Gail Vella, was boasting under the name Ross Turner. So, let's unpack that for a moment. So we find out that someone has given the police a tip-off that this Ross Turner is the killer of Andy Osho's Gail Vella. We don't know whether that's true just yet, but no doubt we will find out as the series continues. So, Davidson brings this up to Buckles, and Buckles, being the incompetent police officer that he is, basically is like, wait, your Chiz is a casual sex worker? No, I don't trust them. They're probably off their face. Let's wait until we got more information. In other words, basically saying, nope. And throughout this episode, Nigel Boyle convinces me that Ian Buckles is as bent as a pretzel. I do not trust him as far as I can throw him. And I'm waiting for him to reveal that he's been on the side of the OCG the entire time, because, come on, he's got to be. Right? Please tell me you guys agree with me. If you do, let me know that you agree with me, please. I can't be the only one going mad thinking that Buckles is as bent as a freaking pretzel, right? Anyway, let's jump back on target. So, they find out the address, they head to the address, and they arrest, on their way, somehow Joanne Davidson has some kind of super criminal spidey sense. As they're driving quite fast past a bookies, and she merely glances and goes, right, let's take a round and let's head them off, and let's catch them red-handed. They come to the bookies. Out comes some young men, who one of them gets shot dead, we're presuming. Which, damn, that's quite a hard thing to hit us with right out of the gates. So, after that, she leaves Kate in charge, and Joe heads on to where they're meant to be catching this Ross Turner. Now, we end up finding out that this Ross Turner is actually our boy Terry Boyle. He is the Down syndrome character that we've had in Series 1 and last series, where the OCG have kind of just basically controlled him through fear and just being so controlling over him. We must protect Terry at all costs. That being said, the way the episode ended suggests that Terry's probably not making it to the end of episode 2. Or if he is, he's dying at the end of episode 2. Because Jed Mercurio's a monster. He's a genius, but he loves doing this to us. So, we then find out that Farida Jatri basically says, this isn't quite right, and speaks to Steve, and then goes cold on him, realising that, she can't do it because she is the former partner of Joanne Davidson. The reason I think that she goes cold on this whole thing is because she knows that they'll find out, wait, you're the ex-partner of Joe Davidson. Are you just a scorned lover who's unhappy that the relationship has ended? And also because, as she says to Steve, you have no idea what she's capable of. Suggesting she knows how dangerous Joe can be and the kind of person Joe Davidson is behind the scenes. The scenes of the interview with Terry, they were hard to sit through. Not because they were boring or anything like that, but because they were uncomfortable. Joanne Davidson and Chris Lomax, they seemed very, very cold. Like they wanted to just kind of arrest Terry and say, It's you. Thank you very much. Can I have a bonus? Thank you very much. But we all know that he is not the killer of Gale. We know that Gale Vela wasn't killed by good old Terry. But we then find out that there's 2 sets of fingerprints that match him and Carl Banks, who the moment the surname Banks showed up, I was like, Lee Banks, Blackthorn, And so maybe we will find out that the reason why Carl Banks is a known criminal is because he's related to Lee Banks, who is also a known criminal and currently in Blackthorn prison. So, I am worried for Terry. I think Jed's gonna. I think Jed is gonna kill him off by the end of the next episode, purely because his lawyer said, "You'll be safe now, Terry." That's basically just saying, "You're dying, mate. Your time is running out. Enjoy whilst you got it." I like Chloe Bishop. She strikes me that she's going to be quite a nice change of pace. And I'm really worried for Steve. Sad Steve we do not need. We need more happy Steve, please. Please, Jed, give us happy Steve again. Please. Right. So, let's talk about... let's talk some theories. Because we find out that the Chiz is dead, I've got an idea, a theory on why his handler wouldn't give his information out. Purely because of something that was said about the fact that he was a casual sex worker. I've got a feeling that the sergeant and the handler that was meant to be looking after him may have had sexual relations or services, or whatever you want to call it, with the Chiz, and was worried that if the Chiz was caught, he may say, "Oh, why aren't you looking at this copper? Because, I slept with him. Please leave me alone." Compromising the cases, etc. Also, Buckles as detective superintendent. How the hell does that happen? Like, how? Which just cements that he's got to be as bent as a pretzel. He's got to be. Because someone who acts that incompetently has to be... He's got to be corrupt. He's got to be bent. He's got to be. And the only reason is because he's friends with Hilton, who is now dead, but also I get the feeling he's friends with DCC Wise and Osborne, who was Steve's boss in counterterrorism, who doing a little bit of the whole researching and watching the trailers and everything in the build-up to this episode coming out, had me thinking, because I'm pretty sure he was listed as a top dog now. So I'm not sure where they're going to go with this. And I like the fact that I don't know where they're going to go. The way that they ended the episode was Joanne Davidson walking out on Jack Tree and locking, I think it was 4 locks. Like, that's one super secure door. So, eek. That's trying to make yourself secure. And I don't quite know where they're going to go. And I love it. Hopefully Jed can keep me on my toes. Let's talk a couple of other theories that I think might be coming through this series. As we know, Steve has been on pills a lot since being thrown down the stairs by in Series 4. So, I think it's going to affect him in a way that's going to get him killed. I think he's going to be relying on his pills that much. He's going to miss something important. Or he'll realise it too late, and his death will come. As much as I don't want Steve to go, that's where I think we're going. With DS Steve Arnott. I don't know where else we're going to go. Let me know what you guys think. Drop them in the description down below, the comment section. Hit that like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell, do the things. And I'll see you next week for episode 2 of Series 6. Bye.